In many states like Pennsylvania, where I practice, there are no strict deadlines that require the executor to file a petition for probate or to initiate the probate process. But delaying can complicate the administration and lead to financial loss, especially when debts and taxes are involved. So while there are no deadlines mandating when probate must be filed, there are deadlines surrounding when taxes are due. And failure to meet those deadlines can lead to penalties and interest, not to mention serious delay in the executor's ability to close or settle the estate. So taxes can include the decedent's final year income taxes that report income that the decedent earned in the final year of life. Taxes could also include what's called fiduciary accounting income or income to the estate, which must be reported and potentially taxed by the IRS and the state. And in Pennsylvania, inheritance tax is imposed on any asset that passes by reason of death, unless exemptions would apply. There are two very important deadlines with respect to Pennsylvania inheritance tax, and the clock starts ticking as of the date of death, not as of the date that probate's filed. So first, if estimated inheritance tax is paid within 3 months from the date of death, the estate gets a 5% discount on the tax due. If the estimate is not paid within 3 months, you lose the discount. And second, Pennsylvania inheritance tax is due 9 months from the date of death. And if the tax is not paid within 9 months, the Pennsylvania Department of Revenue will impose interest and penalties. Another potential problem that relates to delay in initiating the probate process relates to debts and creditor claims. So to protect the estate from potential creditor claims, the executor must advertise the estate. In Pennsylvania, this is done by publishing a legal notice in a local newspaper and in the legal journal. The effect is to create a 1-year statute of limitations. So any claims that are filed against the estate after that 1-year period are generally not honored. This process, this advertisement, the statute of limitations, protects the executor from personal liability if they were to make distributions from the estate and these claims haven't yet been paid. Finally, delaying the probate process can lead to frustration from beneficiaries who may be expecting a timely distribution of estate assets. And with that frustration comes an increased risk to the executor that the beneficiary will challenge some aspect of the estate administration, which, if justified, could lead to personal liability on the part of the executor. So when is the right time to file for probate? It's very common for me to get a call within a few days from the executor after a loved one has passed away, and they want to know what they need to do. And obviously this is very, very sensitive, and I often tell people that they don't need to do anything right away. I want to give them assurance, alleviate some of that pressure, and encourage them to spend time with their loved ones and properly grieve. And they won't be able to file for probate anyway until they receive a death certificate, which they'll typically get from the funeral home. The Pennsylvania Department of Health Division of Vital Records says that it's taking approximately 2 weeks to process a death certificate. And in my experience, it can be sooner than that, but I would say that 2 weeks after someone passes away is about the right time to initiate the probate process. There are so many other tasks to fulfill and processes to follow during the estate administration process, which are beyond the scope of this episode. But I hope that this gave you a sense for why it is so important to get the process started within a reasonable time after a loved one passes away. Please consider subscribing to this channel if you find this content helpful, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next episode.